It's incredible how evil Mueller is and the things he's been engaged in and what he's gotten away with. And the way the government, all these agencies blackmail each other, and just how incredibly corrupt it is, and how foreign governments just walk in and are just buying everyone off publicly. And, you know, I've talked to some really smart people in Washington, and they said, Alex, you don't get it, do you? They said they're going after Trump because he didn't take money from the Russians. It's Thursday, February 14th, 2019. I'm your host, Alex Jones. We're going to be here for the next 4 hours. This is the most banned, demonized broadcast in the world for good reason. We tell the truth, and we're fearless. And we really appreciate you, the audience, understanding. Without you spreading the word, this operation will get hammered into oblivion. Now, that's what's meant to happen. It'll happen, but I'd like to stay at the battle stations as long as possible in this critical time, and I appreciate you all standing with us. This is such a big deal, this issue I'm going to cover next hour, that I'm going to do some preparation on it, because I don't want to just put this info out and not have some ceremony. Because so much of what we do is all cattle, no hat. You know, I don't have the open topped 1975 Cadillac with fake steer horns on it, and I'm not wearing a cowboy hat and a white suit, but I do have cattle. And usually the guy driving around with their Boss Hog doesn't actually have any cattle and doesn't know how to put a saddle on a horse. And that's what we see in this whole phony society. But then when you're all cattle and no hat, you just kind of just deliver the massive goods continually. And the establishment knows what they're hearing, and they're scared. They're like, boy, if anybody pays attention to this, we're done. And this particular article right here is so incredible. In fact, post this in hold, Infowars.com, please. And you know, if you just deliver the goods right up front, nobody cares. So I'm not going to tell you what this article is. We're going to post it to Infowars.com and Newswars.com in full, with a note that I'm going to cover it all at 12:15. That should give me time to get the clips together and to properly back this up. And then we'll put a note on there that at 12:15 I'm covering it, and then once that part of the show's done, we can cut that video out and put it in there, because this is a big deal. And it also shows that even mainstream media can find its soul again. But this is the type of stuff that's gotten me sued, is asking questions. And so many times when things are being staged, then you have to question everything, and sometimes things aren't staged. But this is a big, giant, famous event that a major news agency is admitting they went and found was completely staged, including children being hurt, children being killed. Totally staged. But then out of that, you could end up with hundreds of thousands dead and World War III. So that's coming up. Obviously, next segment, we're going to get into McCabe. And that's something that's so big, it's really hard to even do proper justice. When I got up this morning and I watched this interview, parts of it, while the children were running around getting ready for school and eating their breakfast, it gave me a headache, because my brain went and accessed its memory banks and remembered a bunch of times he testified to Congress and lied to Congress. And then I'm sitting there on YouTube trying to find it to send it to the producers. And, you know, my daughter's asking me to comb a knot out of her hair. Will I please put the iPad down? And so I got here and didn't get the clips to the producers. So it's almost like I don't even want to play this if I don't do the justice. You know what I mean? McCabe says he ordered the obstruction probe. Now, he told Congress he had nothing to do with the obstruction probe and that the president had never been under investigation. Rosenstein testified that the wire was just a joke and that the president also was never under investigation. But he was directly the target of the investigation. So they both lie to Congress, and now he's on 60 Minutes saying it because he doesn't think you have a memory. He thinks you're a moron. He thinks he's not going to get in trouble. Now, of course, there is a grand jury convened. Actually, you want to know 2 of them. But you never see that in the news. It's been in the news, grand jury convened over McCabe lying to Congress. You can find it in some local papers. But that's it. And he sits up there all over television talking about new lows for the country with Trump when it's come out that FBI agents went, the document's been released, went to the State Department and basically said, we'll let you reclassify these as not secret or top secret so that Hillary doesn't go to jail, but we want plum overseas jobs in the nicest cities in Europe. I mean, that's the level, selling your country out. And you actually go put it in writing, a threat to the State Department, if you don't get a plum job. That's what these FBI agents have turned into at the top. What a group of criminals. God help us. Now, since we've gone into this area, Robert Barnes, lawyer, is one of the best public speakers I've ever heard. I told him I wanted him to talk about Mueller more and his criminal history and Isaac Asimov's son and Mueller covering it up and all this. Because you know where McCabe came from. So what I'm going to do is it's a 30-minute mini documentary titled Mueller, A Journey to the Dark Side, that Rob Dew put together. I think I'm going to have it re-uploaded. The audio is a little low on our version, but we're going to boost the audio here. But it's a great piece that Rob put together. It's a documentary. We're going to air that for the next couple segments when we come back. And then in the last segment of the hour, I'll get to McCabe and those clips. But it's incredible how evil Mueller is and the things he's been engaged in and what he's gotten away with. And the way the government, all these agencies blackmail each other, and just how incredibly corrupt it is, and how foreign governments just walk in and are just buying everyone off publicly. And, you know, I've talked to some really smart people in Washington, and they said, Alex, you don't get it, do you? They said they're going after Trump because he didn't take money from the Russians. And it's not just that they took money and they're blaming him for what they did. By them putting Trump off his balance, he can't even make deals with Russia. He can't even build buildings there or anything. But beyond that, they just want him pushed off of their quarry because Russia is so incredibly wealthy and the globalists are still in control of much of Russia's wealth, and they're all up there buying and selling Russian assets. So that was just so Trump dare not even be an executive with Russia, so they can still kind of run their Russia projects. And I kind of knew that, but it didn't really sink in. Mueller's on the boards of these Russian companies. They just give him money. They're all corrupt. And then they point their fingers at us and say, we're Russians with no proof. It's just insane, and it's criminal. There's so much coming up today, but Robert Barnes really knocked it out of the park. So when we come back, we're going straight to this documentary, and we're going to have it reposted to the front page of Infowars.com so you can share it.
For those looking for the ultimate source of energy for their day, every day, the Brain Synergy Combo is here. Combining the powerful Turbo Force and Brain Force Plus nootropic formulas, this combo has what you need to hit your maximum potential every day. Take the tasty tropical berry-flavored Turbo Force instant drink mix with you on the go or at work to help provide you with focus, clarity, and energy, and to reach your full potential. Hit the next generation of advanced neural activation with the Brain Force Plus nootropic, a fan-favorite formula fueled by powerful, time-tested ingredients for a true 360 win. With this combo, you can have energy wherever you need it, at home, on the go, in the car, and more. Get pure energy on tap and take advantage of old and new InfoWars powerhouse formulas with the Brain Synergy Combo. Head to InfoWarsStore.com today